Welcome back, beloveds. My name is Jem. I'm a psychic medium and I'm also an author of over 25 books. Now, about a year ago, I did put out an offer. I put my email address and I said I was starting to do readings again. And yesterday, I found an email. I should have checked earlier. The email had been waiting for 4 days, and I responded and I did a reading, but I doubted myself because, tell you the truth, it's been 5 years since I did a reading for someone. In those 5 years, during that time, I was a drug addict. I've been clean for 4 years. So, meth can open up your third eye, and you can be more accurate. So anyway, after I didn't get a response, when I put a year ago saying I'll start doing readings again, and I didn't hear anything until when I read this email yesterday, I decided, all right, I wasn't going to do readings anymore. I would just pursue another, just keep on channeling about world events and so on. But I just want to talk about my past first before we get into the video. I have been accurate in the past. I met a girl at the medieval fair. I don't know this girl. She was a complete stranger. And I did a reading for her. And so accurate was I that she went to her father, who was the manager for the medieval fair. And the medieval fair used to be held at South Brisbane. And he asked me to be the psychic for the medieval fair, but they moved to Maleny, so I didn't pursue that. Another time, I was so accurate that I'm now going to tell you a story of where I didn't get it right. I was so accurate that this friend recommended me to her friend, and because she was so impressed with the details and everything. Anyway, I wrote for her friend, and her friend said, none of this makes any sense. And I thought, all right, well, I'll still keep doing the reading for you. And I gave it to her for free. And I think one of a few possibilities, either the reading was accurate and she didn't want to pay me the money, or the reading wasn't accurate and it was waiting to happen in the future, or she just wasn't ready to acknowledge that this was happening. And it always, when you get something wrong, it hurts because you want to do the best for your clients. You want to make sure that you do the best. My first ever attempt at a reading was holding someone's hand, and just by the touch of their palm, I induced quite a lot of things, and that was my first success. My last reading that I did about 5 years ago, I read a young man and I said, are you sure you want me to do a reading? Because if you've got skeletons in the closet, they'll come out. And the reading came out that he had been abused by his stepmother, and I showed him the little bit and said, do you want me to continue? And he said, no, that's enough. I even got his mother's name right. And sometimes I will fight against my writings because sometimes it's too specific, and I'm saying, no, it's all, this is you doing it, Jem, this is you doing it. And it was the same with every time we had a seance, I was accused of pushing it. So I'd say, all right, take your hands off the platet and ask a question, and the answer I'd get right. So yes, I have had. I'm not 100% right all the time. I'd be a liar to tell you that I get things 100% right, but I think I was pretty good. But anyway, I sent off some very specific information to this lady that sent me the email yesterday, and I haven't heard back. So it's got me in a whole world of hurt. Did I get her reading right? And so this is a video for psychics who doubt after a reading. One of the hardest parts of being a psychic is the silence. When someone doesn't reply, we immediately assume, I must have been wrong. But here's the truth. Silence doesn't equal failure. Sometimes the sitter already knows the truth, but isn't ready to face it. Sometimes they want a reading in a format we don't provide, like I don't provide phone readings. Sometimes they simply walk away because the information hit too close to home. And I've just got to stop there. I did another reading as a drug addict for a drug addict, and all the skeletons came out. I had my life threatened. So I've got traumas with readings as well. So let's continue. As psychics, we must learn to separate our accuracy from external validation. Spirit doesn't always give us a pat on the back. Our ego craves feedback. But our gifts is not about feeding ego. It's about service. Yes, we can be wrong. Yes, sometimes our bias can creep in, but doubting every impression because someone doesn't reply is a trap. The work of a psychic requires trust, humility, and patience. When you feel fear or shame because you might have been wrong, remember, even silence can mean you've touched something deep. And whether they validate you or not, you planted a seed. Thank you for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other. And I've got to take that lesson on. I may have been right, I don't know. But it was very specific and I did doubt it. And that's what keeps us human, isn't it? Doubts. Keeps us honest and keeps us humans. And I was also very honest with her and told her, this might not mean anything. I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. And I gave it away, and I'll do a reading for free. She wanted a phone reading. I don't do phone readings. All right. Take care of each other and yourselves. Love, light, and blessings. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Bye.